Today we'll be going over the best way to rob the mansion in Roblox Jailbreak. This new method is much more efficient, it's much quicker, and it's also just a lot easier. So basically what I'm saying is if you suck at the game like me, then this method should be a lot easier. But before we go ahead and get into this here, I should probably mention we are going to be doing a free javelin giveaway at 31,000 subscribers, and all you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe and turn on post notifications, that way you will be notified of when the giveaway happens. And as you'd expect, if you've already subscribed in the past, then you've already entered into all future giveaways on the channel. But now with that out of the way here, let's go ahead and get straight into this. So probably the most important part here is grabbing the right guns, because obviously if you go into the mansion robbery with just a pistol, yeah, you're probably not going to do that good. The necessary items that you need for the mansion robbery to be this easy is something like the AK-47 or the rifle, something like the revolver, and then the force field launcher and the plasma pistol. If you want to go ahead and bring extra weapons, feel free to do so, but like I said, those are just extra items and they are not necessary to do the robbery. As for which gun store you should use if you're doing this in a public server, I would recommend using the one in Creator City because typically that's the one with the least amount of attention, but obviously if the bank is under robbery in there, I'd recommend going to the city. Or if nobody's at the town gun shop is also a good option, but really that doesn't matter, and most of the time it's probably the best to do this in a small server or a private server because obviously public servers nowadays aren't really the best. But once the mansion is open here, feel free to go ahead and step into the elevator. It should take roughly 10 seconds in here. And as per usual, when I'm not speaking or nothing important is happening, I'll just go ahead and speed up the video. But a pro tip here for this first room to save a bunch of time is just go ahead and jump all over these pressure plates. You guys can see I am not taking damage or anything when I step on them like this because the game is just weird. I believe this only works with certain body types, so it might not work for you, but you might as well go ahead and check it out just to make sure. This trick has saved me a bunch of time because obviously going around all of those pressure plates normally is extremely boring and really time consuming, and yeah, we don't really want to do that right now, do we? Speaking of boring and time consuming though, Asimo, man, if you're watching this video, please remove the cutscene from this or add some sort of skip cutscene button because this is so boring. Quite literally all this is a little bit of text on the screen and the camera going backwards and forwards between the CEO and our characters. Yeah, I don't think we'd be missing out on much if we skip it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the actual battle here. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shoot the CEO and immediately place down a force field. And then we're going to go ahead and use our plasma pistol from earlier to go ahead and shoot all of the NPCs through the force field launcher so they can't shoot us, but we could shoot them. And then if you'd like, you could also go ahead and use the plasma shotgun to do a little bit of extra damage if they get a little bit too close. Something you should know though right off the bat is whenever you shoot the CEO, the nearest wall to you in the ground will immediately go up. Obviously this is incredibly helpful for dodging his attacks because there is really no other place in the entire mansion to take cover. Something you should also always do here in the mansion is literally always aim for the CEO's head. It will do double the damage, meaning this will be twice as fast. And if you're curious how much time it took me to do this, I'll go ahead and reveal that at the end because obviously that's probably the most important part. Something you should also know here is whenever the CEO is whistling, it means one of three things is going to happen. The first thing that'll probably happen to you is some sort of NPC will spawn there in the corner at the door. Make sure to go ahead and target them every single time because obviously they will probably kill you if you don't. And as you'd expect, whenever the CEO calls out some sort of NPC, he will stop all of the things he is doing until you kill that NPC. Or if you ignore the NPC, if you start shooting him and deal a significant amount of damage, he'll just completely ignore that and he'll continue attacking you. So yeah, make sure to go ahead and get the NPCs first. The second thing that could happen is the spotlights here go off. Honestly, that doesn't really do anything. It's not that threatening because all it does is slow you down a little bit, so don't worry about that. And then the third thing that could happen is he summons in the lasers, which also isn't really that bad, and you really only need to watch out for it if you're on the side directly below it. But honestly, other than that, it's pretty simple and you don't really need to worry about anything else. Really, the only challenging part about the entire mansion robbery is the beginning because that's the only part of the entire thing where something could go wrong. And yeah, like I just said, pretty much everything else you have to pay attention to is those NPCs and hitting your headshots on the CEO to make sure you do the most amount of damage. As you guys just saw there, the CEO made this like mini purple explosion. I don't really know what they call it, but you guys know what I mean. That isn't really something you have to worry about, because really all it means, according to a CMO, is that it's a way of slowing people down when they've been doing the mansion a little bit too quickly. And yeah, all it does is ragdoll you and give the CEO a little bit of extra health. So yeah, unless you have some NPCs coming towards you when that happens, you should probably be completely fine. And yeah, shortly after that, we also completed the mansion robbery there, so an easy $13,000. And for those wondering, that took me a total of 4 minutes and 7 seconds, so that is extremely quickly for a mansion robbery. Keep in mind, I was also doing this completely solo, meaning nobody else was in there with me, so yeah, that is pretty good. As for exiting the mansion here, as you guys could see, it's probably the simplest part of this entire robbery. You're pretty much just walking out a door. And yeah, once you're out of the mansion there, feel free to do whatever you want, because I honestly don't really care. You've done the mansion robbery, congratulations, and you have now done it. Me personally, whenever I'm done robbing the mansion, I just spawn a tanker truck and blow myself up, then dive into a pool of C4. It's probably the best way to do it. But obviously, if this is your first time doing the mansion robbery, then you've probably just used up your only mansion invite. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself more mansion invites, feel free to go ahead and do an airdrop somewhere on the map. And if you want to know a really easy way to do that, go ahead and watch a few of the guides on the channel already. They're extremely easy to do, and they also just take a few minutes. Honestly, they're incredibly simple, and you don't need to do anything at all. But yeah, that is the best way to rob the mansion solo in Roblox Jailbreak as of January 2025. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.